is the team mode. Must say, it's the My Team mode that has convinced me to buy it, and kind of wish I'd bought it straight away. But my second driver, of course, I had to pick Mick Schumacher. And in all management racing games, because I love those things, especially in F1, I always pick for my team name Adelaide F1 because Adelaide's where I'm from, and I fondly remember the Australian F1 when it used to be here, and it's one of the top street circuits that there's ever been. Not quite there with Monaco, but and with the modern cars, I don't know exactly how well it would go now, but motorsport's motorsport's very rich in Adelaide and all over Australia. Yeah. Now, everyone knows that Jack Brabham is Australian, or was Australian, but Bruce McLaren was from New Zealand, so seeing Ricciardo going to McLaren next year is definitely so it's definitely going to be cool seeing Ricciardo drive for team names after the best New Zealand driver of all time.
No one aims to finish bottom of the table. Who's the team you're aiming to beat? How are you expecting the car to feel out on track?
Yeah, I don't know.
The other teams now have years of experience, both on and off the track. How are you planning to...
Although Haas has not been around that long.
Overtaking is a key part of this sport. How have you ensured that your car can take advantage of each opportunity that comes your way? And finally, which of your new departments are you most proud of? Well, that's about all we've got time for here. We will see how this fledgling team fares in its first Grand Prix.
Okay, great, thank you. That's a wrap.
And I want to give, obviously, my career mode a go as well, because racing through F2, I think that's a brilliant idea.
Take a stroll around HQ and check on how the team's doing. This is where you can view our current facilities and the effects they're having on the business. You can also invest some of our cash into upgrades for these facilities.
Well, I went for the highest primary sponsor. There's a bit of a risk with that goal bonus, but I wanted that better engine in the first year. Thought I must have accidentally picked the wrong driver.
Here's where you can buy perks to become a better driver, both on and off the track. Your second driver will buy theirs with the fee they negotiate over their base salary, but you can buy your own with the team's cash. One of the benefits of being the boss. This is the driver market. From here, you can see pertinent details on each driver in the sport. Compare them with each other and add them to your watch list. When the contract negotiation window rolls around, this is where you will approach any drivers you wish to hire. It's important to use the time between races to the fullest extent, and that's where these activities come in. Manage everyone's time as efficiently as possible to maximize the team's performance.
Yeah, this scene is very well produced. It's very exciting. Now, a bit of a warning, I am kind of a trash driver.
What do you think of this one?
boss, Jeff here. Thanks again for bringing me on board. You've found a lot of talented people for this team. I can't wait to see what we can accomplish. Our journey to the Constructors' Championship starts here today, and the car is ready to head out whenever you are.
All the radio messages on PS5 come through the controller speaker, and so that's, well, I assume it was on PS4 too. And that's just really cool.
Free practice sessions are a vital part of any Grand Prix weekend. During your F1 career, you'll be able to utilise these sessions to complete practice programs, which will help you learn the track and earn you points that can be invested in developing your car. You'll also be able to adjust your car setup over the course of these sessions to try and find those extra fractions of a second. The sporting regulations dictate that after each free practice session, you'll have to hand back 2 sets of your dry tyre allocation for the weekend. So get the most out of them while you can.
Let's go a few laps under our belt.
Okay, just there's so much anticipation. Just now, I'm not quite sure. A practice session is always important. You need to, like real drivers, you got to get to know the. That was bad. It'd be nice to have someone in F1 who's like Bruce McLaren. Because he didn't just have the team in his name, he really ran it, every aspect. Yeah, that was bad. Every part of the back room. Testing, and unfortunately that's what killed him, as a car he was testing fell apart. cars have just become so ridiculously technical that it's probably not going to happen. Now, I assume on the PC version,
Remind you to keep an eye on your tyre temperatures, which you can do on the temperature panel of the MFD. We monitor carcass temperature and surface temperature, and you'll get the best performance when they're both inside a normal operating window. Surface temps tend to fluctuate faster, so try a few laps with the data open and get a feel for how to control them. Couldn't receive that. Repeat the message. Repeat that. There's interference. Right, come in at the end of this lap.
There's a huge amount of time to be won and lost in the pits, but ensure that you don't get too greedy as you approach the pit lane speed limit line. On the approach, you'll see a notification of the pit lane speed limit and your distance to the limit line. If you cross this threshold too fast, you'll be given a speeding penalty, so be careful. There are
When you get a chance, make sure to run some of our practice programs. They don't all need to be done in one session, but there's valuable data there to help race strategy and car development. So far, our fastest lap is a 1 minute 36.3. Give us some consistent laps, please. We're looking for good data that we can work into the race strategy.
Turn, 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 turn.
Great lap. You nailed what we asked for. Keep it up.
Yeah, I think maybe I slowed down too much. It's definitely about picking the right time to brake. That was better. I think I need to brake more than I. Wow, much better time.
Okay, super job so far. We're getting great data. Stay focused.
Hey. Albert Park's a nice track, but I really prefer the layout of Adelaide. Especially the centre chicane at the first corner, or first couple of corners. Those 90-degree street corner turns are fun. Oops. Now, I think the PlayStation 5 controller will be great for racing games, with a lot of the feedback. I mean, just imagine a steering wheel, proper racing steering wheel, made with the same technology as the controller. On top of, you know, be a really good. My spot. Maybe I should have waited for here.
Okay, super job so far. We're getting great data. Stay focused.
Yeah. Gosh, after 3 good laps, I've ruined it. Well, okay, 3 okay laps. Any veterans of the game would be laughing at my times, like me trying to say good laps. But good for me. Games have definitely come a long way since I first played Pole Position 2 on Commodore 64.
Job well done. We got some excellent data with that one, so come on back to the garage and I can talk you through the numbers.
Hey, I saw that spot fair and square. I think maybe need some modes about walk you through the rules of overtaking, because it's not like any other racing game at all. Okay, give myself another chance to get past him. Nicely done, I think. Hey, I said box. Ah.
Okay, you need to come in before you run. Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. Okay, the time last lap was a 1:51.0.
I wonder how the DRS works at 60 mile, 100k an hour. I mean, DRS on a sports car would be interesting. Yeah, I've seen some videos of people doing laps around the Adelaide circuit, and I think it's the street circuit for the supercars rather than the longer F1 track.
Box this lap, please. Box this lap. When driving with the pit assist disabled, you'll need to be mindful of your speed when entering the pit lane. If you hit the limiter line too fast, you'll pick up a penalty. Watch the on-screen prompts that show your target speed and distance to the limiter line.
Why won't it let me pitch?
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
It's time to remind ourselves of our top three, who are Bottas, Hamilton and Alexander Albon. What an incredible practice session. The fun doesn't stop here though. Join us again as the rest of the weekend unfolds.
I might need to retry qualifying if I screw it up. And the problem is, I would need to actually read up and do research on to what is needed for the Melbourne track. Trash, 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 trash. Whoops. Ah! Oh, fudge. I might as well finish the lap anyway. Well,
And with
may as well
qualifying
keep it.
complete, let's review our top three today. Bottas, Hamilton and Max Verstappen. Goodbye for now then, but
Well,
we're really just getting started.
it really knows
Be
the
sure to
2020
join us again
season.
for Lights Out tomorrow.
It might be too easy if I could make such big mistakes and still finish 8th in qualifying.
Let's have yours. It's been a great qualifying session for you. Are you going to carry that momentum into the race? You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip? Great. Well, that's everything.
Maybe I can get a focus on a really good chassis.
a successful qualifying, we should be in with a good chance in the race.
If it were me, this is probably what I'd invest in.
But it's amazing how well Ricciardo managed to do this year, despite being in the number 11 car. Well, I don't think I'll skip. That would be a bit silly. But it's definitely a good idea for people who are more into the management mode.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to Melbourne for the
And
opening race.
I have Motorsport Manager on Steam, and I've got F1 Manager and Motorsport Manager online on my phone.
The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously.
Obviously, the one on PC has a lot more settings.
When it comes to overtakes,
The ones on phone, they only have one wet tyre and 2 dry tyres, where obviously Motorsport Manager on the PC and real life you've got obviously your 3 tyres and your 3 dry tyres, 2 wet tyres, plus also practice. And you can manage your car setup. I like the way it works.
That's right, Crofty. It felt like a long winter, but it's good to finally be back.
The graphics in this are incredible.
There are always going to be some teething problems early on in the season.
So some of the shots do not look as much like a video game. Obviously, the phases are the main issue. It's just very, very hard.
So how are they looking so far?
It's hard to imagine how a small operation like that could survive in the ruthless world of Formula One. And yet here they are, first ever race looking surprisingly strong. But there are no points for qualifying. Let's see how they fare in the Grand Prix proper.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Alexander Albon, and Norris, Vettel, Thompson, Sainz, and Daniel Ricciardo, Perez, Ocon.
Okay, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks.
Yeah. Turn. Oh, crap. Hey! Thank you. You kind of sideswiped me. I think I better restart.
so. Is leading the race. This is your final lap, final lap of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows.
I'm kind of glad I didn't overtake Leclerc and lose that with the penalty. That would be annoying. Yeah, I thought it wouldn't have any of these super long loading times on the PS5. Unless, like, what would happen if I was to actually take a real car on the track? It's crashed? No, it hasn't crashed.
Let's see what effect this result has had on the driver's standings. After today's performance, Valtteri Bottas secures the championship lead. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
That's got to be the Flying Finn. Wait, how many Flying Fins have we had now? Anyway, I'm talking about Bottas this time. Just great raw speed, and a good job in traffic as well.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
So Gasly got driver of the day, going from 15th to 12th. I went from 8th to 5th, got 10 points, and not driver of the day.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you? You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled. It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it? Appreciate your time.
Pardon me? Oh, I can get a secondary sponsor now. Well, that's not a very handy goal bonus. Well, I just did that. Not gonna happen.
As we continue to increase our acclaim, more potential partners become willing to work with us. We can now approach an additional sponsor from the corporate tab.
Well, I think I already done that. Yeah. And then 5, 10, and 20. I'll need to do at least one practice session on this track.
If you want to know specific information or make certain changes to the car during a pit stop, you can tell me what you want over the radio. Press and hold the radio button to activate the system, and you can either speak the command or select it manually from the radio screen that will appear on the multifunction display. While the radio is active, cycle through command groups with the MFD button. Okay, we'll need a few solid laps here to help us count.
Oh, I'm gonna have to charge my controller. There's a second corner. Well, second part of the corner. Button, but I better get my controller on charge. people who play this a lot would really get to learn the tracks, but obviously different cars have to be driven differently.
So far, we're getting great data. Stay focused.
I think I might do a qualifying setup afterwards. Okay, maybe I need the full map, or I need to just keep looking at my mini map. Okay, I'm gonna have to really change the assist settings because it's dragging me into the driving line.
Okay, super job so far. We're getting great data. Stay focused.
Yeah, driving line assist when you try and overtake and it doesn't want you to overtake, not helpful. Bertel, you're supposed to give that to me, I think. Maybe.
Okay, test complete, and that was a very good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable.
Okay, instead of worrying about trying to pit, I'll just do that.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1 minute 36.4. Okay, this is a quali sim. We've estimated the times our closest rivals will be doing, so that's what we need to beat.
Okay, I think I need to be better on the corners. That's better. Bad. Gosh, the G-force on those turns must be killer. That's why fitness is of much importance. Not bad with old tyres.
We're top of the speed trap, 327.8 kilometers per hour. At the end of this session, we need to return 2 sets of tyres. We'll give back the 2 most worn sets, so we may as well get the most out of them while we can. They won't be available for the rest of the weekend, though, so don't run too hard on anything you might need later on.
May as well keep using the same set of tyres.
To get through as many corner gates as quickly and precisely as possible. Remember to activate your DRS in the DRS zone as well. DRS zone is coming up. Get ready to open it. Distance is on your MFD.
I think I'll turn off auto DRS. I think it's just nice pressing the button, knowing that it's one thing you can do. Okay, that was a bit better that time. That was a bit close.
That's looking good. Now let's try for purple. You'll get a bonus for consistency if you can chain good corners together.
Ah.
This is the final lap of the program.
Why are they go? I went through them. Is it because I was going too slow to try and make sure I had them? Because obviously, if you're really, really slow, it's not very helpful. And doing that's not very helpful. Maybe I also went too much on the curb on that one. Well, that
I took a picture of my
Practice program over. That's all we need for now. Return to the garage pronto.
The session has drawn to a close, so let's review our top three. Thompson, Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas. What an incredible practice session. The fun doesn't stop here though. Join
I think if I was to play online, I would be smashed into a pulp. Might be funny. Well, let's see what I can do in qualifying. Definitely helpful having it a 0 out of 20 for AI difficulty. Although, I didn't seem to have any difficulties on the corner with that one, so maybe I'll stick with it.
Okay, we'll alter the setup of the car.
Now here we go, is the on this difficulty level, if I just put in a decent lap, I'll instantly get pole by the look of it. And there we go.
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
And then I don't need to worry about overtaking. Hopefully.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's
Oh
have a
wow,
quick
look at that
those
gap.
who will be fronting the grid. Thompson, Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
No, do not quit. That would be silly. But it feels like the goal of this game is to be so good that you get one of the top 3 drivers as your second driver. Because your car is just so good, you are so good that they can't beat you. And you're going to be champion, and whoever is your second driver will be second. Now, it's got start assist, but I assume without it I need to be very careful to avoid wheel spin. Like in a Monaro on the beach. Or Lightning McQueen in Cars 3. Ease on the throttle and then plant it.
Race here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Thompson lines up on pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Verstappen.
I didn't even get to be a picture.
Vettel.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
I'm making so many bad mistakes, but on this easiest of all difficulty levels, I really should be 3 seconds in front, 5 seconds in front. I mean, that's a crazy single lap lead with a poor drive. On any of the real difficult levels, I'd probably be dead last. Online, I'd be one of the last, if not the last, depending on if I get to go against people as bad as me. Now, one thing is the PS5 controller, I find definitely 100 times more comfortable than the PS4 controller. Now, of course, a proper racing wheel controller will be 100 times more comfortable than...
DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Oh. Still not doing well with that corner. That was better, I hope. Now, of course, if you don't know, purple means it's the best sector time of the race so far. Or session. But 2 purples means it's a good lap. If I keep it up, I could get fastest lap. Except, like I said, fastest slap. Which, if I make any bad jokes, I will get the fastest slap from Kylie, who's sitting next to me. Hello, Kylie.
Hi.
And that was really bad. Maybe to feel better, I'll race Kylie because it brings back split screen. Thank you. So my team and split screen.
I don't know how to race.
Well,
I don't know how to play.
right. You want to try and follow better than I am doing. Green means accelerate. Red means hit the brakes.
I did think that's what it meant.
Definitely not a fastest lap time.
But also, because purple means best time, that means they know what the best colour is.
Oh, yes, it means purple equals best colour.
Yeah.
Maybe Kylie could make her own livery.
What?
That means the colours.
Oh, okay.
At least on the
Great job. You've done everything we wanted today.
I didn't get driver of the day.
But you got fastest lap.
Smiling faces on the pit wall after a superb win here at Sakir. And rightly so.
I mean,
What a
in real life,
from the whole team.
someone, a poor car, getting pole position and the race win would definitely get driver of the day.
On the track was today speed. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Then Francesco incidental speed.
But I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium.
No, I think Mercedes will still definitely get the Constructors' Championship.
Let's have a look then at the driver's standings. That lead at the top of the table has shrunk somewhat today. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Carlos Sainz would be my first choice for this race. He had excellent race stamina, giving him the opportunity to charge through the ranks. It's got to be Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he pulled off some impressive feats out on the track today, even by his standards. I know that's at odds with the official decision, but I think they deserve some recognition on a day where both of these drivers are at the top of their game.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, good work from the owner drivers team this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Well, that launches me up to third.
That's good.
Just a point behind Hamilton.
Rule him for your honour.
I would, but I'm out of range. Now,
Have you had time to reach for your lunch yet?
for those who don't know, Lewis Hamilton provides the voice of Lightning McQueen's computer, Hamilton.
Was it a comfortable win? You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret?
Cocky or mysterious or like humble and bragging about your team?
See, that would give me more driver points. That would give me more car points, make my car better.
Well, looks like your luck has changed. Things went a lot better than last weekend, didn't they?
I like that accent.
Appreciate your time.
That's very Scottish, I like it.
worried about our cash reserves. They're pretty low and we might have to start shutting down facilities. I recommend we could go for something like this.
You forget to unmute it.
Okay, so I think I will simulate. Now I assume my standings will be a lot lower because the ridiculously easy difficulty level it's probably not being taken into account in simulation mode, just in actually racing. Let's find out. Oh no, I have to actually do qualifying. But then I can simulate the race. Now, because I've done no practice, I may need to do qualifying a couple of times. But it could be a good way to get through the seasons quick if you want to focus on simulating seasons or managing seasons as quickly as possible. Go. Oh, that was very bad. It was bad, and it should feel bad. Whoopsies.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three. Bottas, Hamilton and Max Verstappen. With
I'll leave it there.
complete,
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. Are you happy with where you'll be on the grid tomorrow? It's the start of the season. How do you think things are going to go for you? You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners? Appreciate your time.
It'd be nice if they did bring out a PS5 version of this game, but it's at least on the PS5. Not only do PS4 games run in PS4 Pro mode, but it does make use of some of the other better specs. Not necessarily the graphics card, but processor, RAM, and the SSD will definitely help it to run faster. I don't know if the HDR looks better on PS5 rather than PS4 Pro. Yes.
So let's review the updated driver's standings. More points for Valtteri Bottas, further solidifying his lead at the top of the table. Let's move on to the constructors. Mercedes continue to extend their lead,
Wow.
while Renault move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
How could I finish so far down, starting at 5th? I mean, if I'd gotten pole position, I still probably would have finished in the same spot. I mean, imagine being overtaken by that many cars.
We had a major issue on the production line earlier this week, so the entire development package for this weekend has failed. Check your R&D screen to order any redevelopments.
If I get that one done, my chassis will be right up there. My aerodynamics pretty poor. That'll definitely help.
You're not currently in a rivalry. Sooner or later, you'll probably be asked by the media who you consider to be your rival. Think carefully who you select. While you will receive acclaim for beating them, you'll lose acclaim if you fail to do so.
Yeah, that may have been a bad idea. But I must say, I'm definitely intrigued by the idea of a Fortnite-style seasons pass. Okay. Now, Kylie, do you want to create your own custom livery?
Sure.
Now, this one was free in the podium pass. So obviously these two don't have colour schemes that you can change, but this is a bit reminiscent of the Benetton. These are the only ones I have at the moment.
I like the blue turquoisey one that's got, like, that's a nice face. Not that one, that one.
The lines.
It's a nice face.
Bump, bump, bump. Oh, not that kind of base. So that kind of purple?
A bit lighter. I said lighter. That's not lighter, that's...
I know.
You made it darker when I said lighter. That... a bit... I was gonna say that one, but then you made it a bit darker again. So make it more lighter. Make it a bit lighter. Yeah, that's good.
Now, see, there's also matter with the saturation or the hue.
That one.
Yeah. Okay, what about your secondary colour?
That dark midnight blue.
Okay, now doesn't go well with a light colour.
Yeah, as I said, dark midnight
Although that
blue.
kind of gold
No,
nearly
that
looks
was the midnight
interesting.
blue.
Yeah, I was having a look at seeing what works. Okay, is that bright darkness? Is that too much? There we go, that's more blue.
Yeah, I like that. That looks nice.
If you have to put sponsors on there, just to
I can't have all in all because that's not a real sponsor.
I don't think any of these are real ones either.
I like that
Moon.
one. Yes.
You can also change the colour.
Make it a bit yellow. That works too.
Like turquoise.
Ooh, that turquoise.
The Highland is very Scottish. Or it's all going to be moon. Okay, the version for the front is interesting. Now this one can probably be...
Dark blue.
Whoa,
Ooh,
that stands out well.
that looks nice.
That doesn't work so well. That looks good.
Yeah, go with the Highland.
Or if we want to keep with base stuff, you got Blue Star.
Ooh, yeah, go with that one.
Or Triple Star in.
Japanese. I like the triple star, I think.
Or Satellite. That works because the moon is a.
Yeah, go with that. Go with satellite. I like that. And then go with one of the star ones. Go with Blue Star.
What colour should that one be?
Blue. No, that looks good.
I need to be set a bit extra darker. Yeah.
I think go with triple star for this one.
I want to see what. Because we want white moon on the nice dark blue.
True.
But also, I do like the.
Turquoise moon on the dark blue.
It also that number,
81.
but the circle around it, just
Oh yeah.
it's that really classic style,
Yeah, that was nice.
but also like a billiard ball.
Yeah.
Although, who wants to play a game where you've got at least 81 billiard balls to sing? That would have to be a really big table.
Mm.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can have a female in this one. Oh. No. In Motorsport Manager, you can hire both male and female drivers. Oh, some of these are actual people. Esports champions.
Cool.
Do you want one named after for you or Kylie, or not worry?
Yeah, go for me.
Okay. What's your...
KRT. And you gotta go down to Thompson.
Thompson.
Okay, what number, Kylie?
21.
Can we edit the...
Okay, can I make my...
Remember, you can change the colours of any of these.
Yeah, go with...
Oh, here, I'll let you do that one. We're going to have one that's all purple.
Yeah, triangle first.
Yep. Now, Kylie, do you also want a badge?
Purple star. Or maybe dark, no, go dark blue star. Just flat color. That's not flat color, that's a gradient.
Yeah.
Go flat color, dark blue. And then we'll have like turquoise.
How, that dark?
Yeah, that's good.
Well, that really pops, doesn't it?
And then we'll go with like purple and turquoise on top. You didn't pick the star, did you? No. No. No.
Is there anything that resembles a K?
I mean, we could go with the Among Us helmet.
No, that doesn't quite work on the star. You'd need a bigger background.
I do like that kind of pinwheel thing.
That doesn't quite... I think, yeah, it's too thick.
Yeah. I could be Team Rocket.
I don't think many of them work on the star.
That is sad.
Oh, that one would be good for Eamon. That one for Shane. I have no idea what that's meant to be.
It looks like two U's, kind of.
Well, let's just go with Team Rocket for now. So you want turquoise?
Yeah.
It's not quite.
Yeah, that's neat. You put it, you can make it green. That's turquoise.
Yeah, it's very hard to... Okay, how dark or light? Oh,
Light.
so nice and saturated, I think. Like that.
Yeah. And then the purple. That is magenta. That's more magenta! Purple is towards the blue.
Hmm.
And then
Maybe not quite so much saturation.
that's good, that's good.
A touch darker with the... Then I need to do the same with the turquoise. Reduce the saturation and increase the luminance just a touch. Though it feels like that needs to...
Well, now it's too magenta again. There we go.
That...
Perfect.
Like, that might need to be a touch paler. That's it. I like that.
That was perfect.
Okay. Now, Carly. Oh!
Ooh, that's good. Ooh, I like that gem kind of shape.
I think although all I can see is like a duck with a blue beak and a purple hair with a fringe.
Oh yeah, I see a duck now.
Duck racing, there we go. Is that what you want, Kylie?
Yes. That's perfect.
Okay, I think I need to make mine look better. Oh well. That kind of looks like Pokeball spaceship.
True. I think they'd have those.
The spaceship Pokeball. Sorry. I will shush now. Before I end up with negative subscribers.
You can't have negative subscribers.
Oh, I can keep my
You'd rather not have 0 subscribers though.
Mail.
I mean, one of them is me.
Maybe
so...
it's, I've won the awesomeness competition and they're giving me everything. Oh no, okay. I have a trophy.
Yeah.
Look, split screen.
Oh, I don't really want to play. I just want to make dumb comments for you.
I can make enough dumb comments all on my own.
Fine.
Your comments are less dumb than my own.
Fine, I'll put on a dumb announcer voice.
Now, why?
Like I do when we play Mario Kart.
Now, how do I actually buy VIP?
I don't know. Oh, so that suit,
The colours look nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that look good.
Ooh. The boys would like that too, Dad.
Interesting. Lightning bolt. I wonder who that is based on with the bolt. With a running and a bolt.
Yeah, no, it's totally confusing.
Must be based on Spider-Man.
I was gonna suggest,
Oh, look at the purple. Look at the purples.
Ooh, that's nice.
A purple, blue, red tartan. Interesting.
That's pretty.
Nearly as pretty as me. Wait, no, it's much better than that.
What the hell is that suit? That looks like you'd find some. It looks like you'd find that suit at an 80s concert.
An 80s disco concert. Specifically, disco and... It is dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Ooh.
It's almost got too much going on though.
Yeah. No, that just looks like Kaminari.
Well, I was thinking, you know, if your mechanics keep badgering you, you can wear this because it's based on Wolverine, and the animal Wolverine is a type of badger.
But also it's Hufflepuff colours, which is also a badger.
Ah, but you... Oh, yeah. So they stole that from Wolverine. The Wolverine would be a Hufflepuff. Interesting candy stripes.
That would look like that car would not be like if that car was in Sugar Rush, no one would bat an eye.
Yeah. Yeah, the Keep Fighting Foundation DLC is definitely tempting. That one is not tempting at all. Although, maybe for dance moves, like that, but then I think you do better dance moves than that when in your dance.
I mean, I don't choreograph them, so that's probably what I do without someone else choreographing it. No, that is what I do.
Now,
without someone else choreographing.
How do I buy? Do I go? Okay, Kylie. Must. Oh, there. I can press square. It's Crichton. I can be Crichton.
Yeah!
Oh, okay.
Yes! Now you can be Crichton. Crichton. Make off. Crichton. 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 Are you gonna change your suit to Crichton suit? Or are you gonna actually try and make Crichton?
Surely. Maybe not.
Yeah, that looks dumb.
And of course I need to change the helmet. Or should this one be the black line?
Oh my god, your suit actually has wires in it. That just proves you're Crichton.
That means I now need a new car livery to go with it. Hmm. There we go. Cool, now I have all the VIP challenges to do.
Welcome to the beginning of your Formula One journey. Before competing at the top level, many drivers will race in Formula 2. From this screen, you can choose from multiple Formula 2 experiences. The first offers a selection of short scenarios. The short season consists of a shortened Formula 2 calendar with one race per weekend. The full season contains every round, with a feature and sprint race in each.
Formula 2 is one of the key steps many drivers will take on the path to Formula 1. It is a championship where the best up-and-coming drivers in the world must compete in identical cars to hone their skills and showcase their talents to teams in the F1 paddock. Whichever Formula 2 experience you choose, your performance in the championship matters. Finish high up in the table, and your Formula 1 career will start on a high, allowing you to more easily negotiate with the top teams on the grid.
Do I want to aim for the Ferrari? Let's go this one. So what is pro career? Okay. It'll be what you need to be good at to try and compete against other pros. Well, I think it's definitely easier to take that one than the F1 car.
As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your
Oh.
top three. Thompson, King, and Nobuharu Matsushita. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow where we'll be live with all the action, and until then, goodbye. Hello and welcome from the Bahrain International Circuit here in Sakhir. Down on the grid, the engineers are making their last checks and today's race will be underway shortly. And here are the driver grid positions. Okay, we got pole. Now let's get the double with the race win.
Got to do a lot better than that. Yes, if you want to solely focus on the driving, this is the better one. But I think it's definitely fun to play free in both modes. I think Chain will do quite well at this on this easiest mode. Chain Minty. Oh, he's never played Racing Gauntless, but he's kind of better at Mario Kart than me now. Be interesting to see how well Aim and Minty can go. Well, I think I took that corner quite well. As you race one track a few times, you do start to get the feel for at least some of the parts of it. But of course, as I said before, different cars handle differently, especially F2 versus F1. How much braking assist is there? Let's find out. Well, okay. I can just keep my finger on the throttle. Okay, not quite. I think I might finish after this race for today. I'm playing for longer than I've realised, and it's definitely time for a break.
The gap to the car behind is 25.3 seconds.
So there's one thing that would be nice for the next game, would be for tyre wear to show. Especially on the PS5, that would be nice.
Absolutely awesome. Just amazing. Well done.
So another excellent win from Bramer.
Ah, Pramer, that's how it's pronounced.
Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
This race, this week, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just one lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over.
As we look back on a thrilling race here today, we can now see the drivers take their places on the podium. It's a familiar sight by now, as it's another successful F2 win for Pramer. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Challenge. Thompson increases their championship lead. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
I choose Kalumalu. The English driver was so aggressive today, he made the difference just in that. My choice is not the same as the fans' choice this time. And both drivers were brilliant.
Spielberg. Is it actually possible to save and quit? Hopefully. Now, I mean, this really takes me back.
The McLaren MP44, powered by the formidable Honda RA168E engine, won 15 out of the 16 races in the 1988 Formula One season. The combination of engine, driving position, low center of gravity and advanced aerodynamics made the MP44 virtually unbeatable. It was so successful that it set the record for most wins in a single season. Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost finished the 1988 season in first and second place in the Drivers' Championship respectively, giving the McLaren Honda team a 66-point lead over second place Ferrari. The 641, also known as the F190, was a similar looking car to its predecessor, the 640. Lots of development was focused on keeping the engine as efficient as possible, specifically in improving cooling and airflow, which also involved aerodynamic tweaks to the bodywork. The car also featured a larger fuel tank and revised transmission. Ferrari's biggest gain for 1990 was the signing of Alain Prost from McLaren. 1990 proved to be the height of the famed rivalry between Prost and Ayrton Senna, where both drivers once again fought for the World Championship, but this time, of course, driving for different teams. The team took 6 wins that year, 5 for Prost and 1 for his teammate Nigel Mansell, and would ultimately finish runner-up in both championships.
So I forgot Nigel Mansell had raced for Ferrari. Mansell and Senna, my 2 favourite drivers of the era.
The MP45B was developed for the 1990 season with changes to body durability, larger fuel load, adjusted suspension geometry and a heavily reworked transmission. As a result, the car proved to be hugely successful during qualifying, eventually claiming a total of 12 pole positions. However, the Ferrari F190, driven by Ayrton Senna's great rival Alain Prost, kept the competition very close. Throughout the season, the development of the MP45B continued, with reduction in the weight of the engine, and later in the year, an increase in engine power, thanks to higher rev limits and an improved fuel compound. Ayrton Senna finished the season as world champion, and once again took McLaren to the constructors' title.
Now, to be able to view, you need to buy the Schumacher DLC. I mean, that 7-Up classic green Jordan, it didn't matter that, well, usually it was a tail of the field car because it just looked so nice.
The McLaren MP46 was McLaren's first Formula One car to feature a V12 engine. Although the power plant was much heavier than in previous seasons, the rest of the car had gone through an extensive weight-saving program, which resulted in a very similar final weight to previous years. Despite strong competition from the continually improving Williams FW14 Renault, McLaren held on to win the constructors' title, and Ayrton Senna finished the World Championship in first place.
Yeah, the McLaren and Williams. I do have one of these, which I bought. Well, I think my mum bought for me in the 90s. Certainly, I think it must be that. Must be that Williams.
The FW14B was an evolutionary development of the 1991 FW14 and made its race debut at the 1992 South African Grand Prix. Throughout the course of the year, the FW14B would prove to be the car to beat, winning the opening 5 races of the 1992 season. A crucial factor in the performance advantage was the use of an active ride suspension system used following a rigorous pre-season testing program. Nigel Mansell drove the car to a record-setting 9 race wins on his way to a fully deserved and hard-earned Drivers' Championship, whilst his teammate Riccardo Patrese scored 1 victory and a number of podium positions to give the team victory in the Constructors' Championship, and engine supplier Renault their first championship in Formula 1.
Now, of course, Schumacher's 2 famous Benettons.
The FW18 appeared for its race debut at the 1996 Australian Grand Prix. New technical regulations for the 1996 season gave the FW18 an unusually shaped cockpit area, but despite this, the evolutionary approach adopted by the car's designers gave the FW18 a look that bore a clear resemblance to its predecessor, the FW70. Damon Hill was joined in the team by Canada's Jacques Villeneuve, the 1995 IndyCar champion. These 2 drivers dominated the season, winning 12 out of 16 races between them, putting both championships out of reach of their rivals by mid-August. 1996 represented the Williams team's most statistically successful season.
Now, the late 90s through to the 2000s, or to early 2000s, they don't look as nice, but then here they do get nicer again. Although the Vodafone McLaren was just a weird looking car.
The BGP-001 design began its life under the banner of Honda Racing, before their withdrawal from the sport in 2008 led their operation to be taken over by Ross Brawn, forming Brawn GP. Mercedes were brought in as a partner to provide the naturally aspirated V8 engine for the 2009 season. New technical regulations were introduced in this season, chiefly aerodynamic changes focused around the front and rear wings. The famous double diffuser solution pioneered by the BGP-001 and others was controversial, as it exploited what some considered a loophole in the regulations, and the FIA received complaints from a number of other teams. The double diffuser was later judged to be legal and cleared for use. The BGP-001 had a very successful first half of the 2009 season, but other teams began to catch up later in the year. However, Brawn GP still comfortably won the Constructors' Championship, and Jenson Button clinched the driver's title in the penultimate Grand Prix.
That leads to the start of Team Mercedes. And then here the Red Bull era.
An evolution of the very successful RB5, the RB6 gained a larger fuel tank, more efficient cooling on the brakes, a double-decker diffuser, and a high-performing engine.
Now, I still think Webber should have been the champion that year.
Very similar to the RB5, illustrating the extent to which the earlier car had been ahead of the curve. As traditional for Sebastian Vettel, who names all of his cars, his RB6 was christened Luscious Liz. Later in the season, when he required a new chassis, his replacement was named Randy Mandy. Throughout the season, the team achieved 15 pole positions during qualifying, demonstrating the capability and competence of both car and drivers. Sebastian Vettel took the Drivers' World Championship and Red Bull won the Constructors that season.
partway through the season, Webber went from being the number one driver at the team to being given the weaker elements and less support than Vettel. So I think without that, Vettel, well, I mean, obviously if Vettel had been the number one driver from the start of the year, he would have won even better. As Vettel's definitely a good driver, but being Australian, I really wanted Webber to win. Now, so Yuki Tsunoda is one of the drivers coming up to F1 this year. Or next year, I should say. Jack Aitken got to stand in for one race at Williams when George Russell was standing in for Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes. Yeah. Okay, that's a name that should sound familiar. An Alessi coming through, a Schumacher. Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin are also coming up to F1 next year. So it's definitely going to be very interesting.
Prema Racing was founded in 1983 by Angelo Moshin and Giorgio Piccolo. In 1994, the team began to expand its activities at an international level, and since then it has become one of Europe's leading international racing teams. Ever since its inception, it has favoured the inclusion of young drivers, focusing on developing their talents and skills in order to help them reach the highest echelons of the sport.
Yeah. A lot of young, so you can see they both got the Ferrari logo now, and yeah, because basically Prema is where you, well, it's part of the Ferrari driver program, but others use it too. If you race for Prema, generally a lot more is expected of you.
Carlin are one of the largest teams outside Formula One, with race-winning experience in a variety of championships. Some of today's most successful drivers have passed through the doors of Carlin, including racers in Formula One, IndyCar, WTCC, and the DTM. Based in Farnham, Surrey, they entered Formula 2 in 2018 and took the team's championship in their debut season, courtesy of Sergio Sette Camara and Lando Norris.
And it's amazing how in just 2 years at Formula One, Lando Norris has made a big name for himself. Now they also have the previous years. Yeah, Nicholas Latifi has obviously been a F1. Now this is a very sad one. It was kind of a freak accident. It's a crash and debris in front of him, but not the car that was directly in front of him went and avoided it, and Antoine Hubert clipped his ring on the rear tyre of the car in front into the wall and bounced off, and was owned at very high speed. Now, yeah, it's amazing what Ricciardo was able to do with this car, and it's amazing what Charles Leclerc was able to do with this car. Now, there's a lot of big changes for next year. Williams is now was no longer owned by the Williams family, which to a certain extent is very sad, but also exciting because now the new owners have money that they can invest. Of course, they're not going to go crazy. Haas has been growing at a decent rate despite being a brand new team. Alfa Romeo have a couple of decent drivers. Racing Point, Lance Stroll's dad, Lawrence Stroll, is a very rich person in Canada, and after investing in Williams to get his son a seat, he then bought what used to be Force India. Now he's also bought into Aston Martin, and so Aston Martin are becoming then the naming rights sponsor of the team. Renault are becoming Alpine, which is another car manufacturer in the same stable of car companies as Renault. I think McLaren are going to have a much better car next year. Ferrari only a slightly better car. And I think, it could almost be the end of the dominance of the Mercedes car. I think, definitely the cars are going to be a lot closer in performance. So it'll be very interesting to see. Okay, I'm going to go to browser. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. Well, thanks to everyone who watched. I might jump back on this tomorrow, and I might also later on today play a little bit of Fortnite or Rocket League. So keep an eye out if those are interesting as well to you. Okay. Till next time.